This could have been the season that Harry Kane finally got his hands on a major piece of silverware. Having come closer than any England captain since Bobby Moore to lifting a trophy for the national team at Euro 2020, the centre-forward was confident of securing a move to Pep Guardiola's Man City, a side which strolled to the Premier League title and reached their first ever Champions League final last term. But of course the move never came, and Kane's performances have taken a huge dip this season. The goals have dried up, as has his creativity in the final third, while the early months of the campaign even saw some fans begin to question his commitment on the field. Considering the Englishman became the first player in the Premier League era to finish top of the goal and assist charts last term, despite his side finishing in their lowest position since 2009, this is a drastic fall from grace. But why has he been so poor, and will he turn it around? On today's FD Explained, we're going to find out. So what has Harry Kane's season looked like so far? Well, after 13 Premier League appearances, the English striker has just 1 goal and 1 assist, with both coming in a 3-2 win over relegation candidates Newcastle in October. That works out to a goal contribution every 549 minutes, a truly woeful average that not even Christian Benteke sunk to during his driest patches at Crystal Palace. Notably, he was almost completely ineffective in big games against Liverpool, Chelsea and Man United, in which Spurs scored just once and conceded 9. Kane managed just 2 shots on target across those 3 games and even failed to create a chance. It perhaps isn't a surprise then that in the one game against a big rival that his side has won this term, against Man City on the opening day, he didn't feature. Compare this form to the first half of last season and the difference is stark. In 2021, Kane failed to register a goal contribution in just 3 of his first 13 appearances, racking up 9 goals and 10 assists at a rate of an involvement every 62 minutes. For context, that's actually a slightly better average than what Mo Salah is managing this term, with the Egyptian arguably the most in-form attacker in world football, scoring or assisting every 63 minutes. And to compare with other greats from this era, Robert Lewandowski averaged a goal or assist every 73 minutes in 2019-20, a season in which he hit the net 34 times in 31 Bundesliga games, while Cristiano Ronaldo made a goal contribution every 69 minutes in 2015-16, a season in which he hit 35 goals and 11 assists in 36 La Liga games. So how did Kane go from sustaining some of the best and most prolific form of his career to being one of the least productive strikers in the Premier League? When you look at his underlying numbers, it's not too hard to see why. The England captain is currently taking just 2.6 shots per 90 and just 1.5 shots in the box per 90, both career lows. It's no surprise then that his 0.31 expected goals per 90 is also a personal worst. However, it does suggest that he may have been unlucky. According to XG, Kane should have nearer to 4 goals this season, as well as around 2 assists. Whereas Kane's elite finishing ability has generally seen him outperform his expected goals in recent seasons, this term that isn't the case. He may have faced goalkeepers in particularly good form, lost his touch in front of goal, or a bit of both. Either way, the fact remains that he is still not getting into scoring positions anywhere near enough. Even if he was scoring in line with his XG, he would have roughly the same output as Arsenal's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who has struggled for form over the last 12 months. In fact, among players to have played over 500 minutes, he ranks 23rd in the league for shots per 90, below Ilkay Gundogan and Paul Pogba. Last season, he ranked first. And in this sense, it's been quite the drop-off. He was averaging 4 shots per 90 in 2021, with 2.4 of those coming inside the box, while his expected goals per 90 was at its highest since his 30-goal season of 2017-18. And it's not just in front of goal where he's been lacking. While Kane's 2021 campaign was notable for him becoming a more effective player in build-up, with his creative and passing numbers flourishing, his general influence on attacking play has diminished. His passes into the final third have dropped from 2.9 to 2.1 per 90, while his progressive passes have fallen from 3.7 to 2.4. But why have his performances dropped off so dramatically? It's difficult to look past the summer of 2021. Not only did he captain England to the verge of a first trophy since 1966 in front of a home crowd, but he also pushed harder than ever to force a move out of Tottenham. Such a career-defining period would take an emotional toll on any player, let alone a national team captain and club legend. On top of that, the highs and lows of the Euros were exacerbated by playing in front of a full stadium for the first time in over a year. At its best, Wembley produced its greatest atmosphere since its rebuild in the mid-2000s, and at its worst became the scene of violence, racial abuse and severe safety breaches. Navigating such peaks and troughs as the side's leader, coupled with heartbreak on the pitch, was no doubt tough. As is to be expected following such an intense summer tournament, Kane also appeared less than 100% fit on returning to Spurs. Coming back from his post-Euros holiday in the Bahamas almost a week late amid his attempts to sign for Man City before having to isolate, with manager Nuno Espirito Santo ultimately deciding he wasn't ready to play in the first game of the season. Kane only informed Nuno of his decision to stay at Tottenham just days before the transfer deadline, bringing the summer's biggest saga to a close. Like at the Euros, Kane ultimately failed in his pursuit of his ambitions, and having first revealed his desire to leave as early as May, it was a long, arduous process. Daniel Levy, as he had done with the likes of Gareth Bale and Luka Modric in the past, was stubborn, rejecting Man City's advances and paying no heed to the alleged gentleman's agreement Kane claimed existed between himself and the chairman. City meanwhile never lodged anything bigger than a £100 million bid, with the feeling that an improved £120 million bid wouldn't get them any closer to their target. The fact they didn't strike when his relationship with the club and Levy was at its most strained, despite having gone all out for Jack Grealish, would no doubt have disappointed Kane. And while initially Spurs fans were by and large supportive of Kane's career ambitions and grateful for his service, his decision to return to training late, coupled with poor early season performances, have damaged his relationship with them. Some sections of the fan base put his declining displays down to a lack of interest in the team, and during Tottenham's 3-0 loss to Man United in October, he was booed. But of course, Kane's decline also has something to do with how Tottenham have been in general this season. Not only would he have been disappointed by Daniel Levy's refusal to sell him in the summer, but the fact the club were unable to secure one of their top managerial targets hardly provided him with much of an incentive to stay. Furthermore, Nuno Espirito Santo revealed that he'd had zero contact with Kane during his first weeks in charge. And despite a promising start, Nuno's short spell in charge went very wrong very quickly. By the time he was sacked, Spurs had lost just one fewer game than Newcastle, had scored fewer goals than anyone bar Norwich, averaging less than a goal a game, and ranked 17th in the league for expected goals. With reports that the Portuguese coach lacked authority in the dressing room, as players struggled to get on board with his tactics, and with no clear game plan evident on the pitch, it's perhaps no wonder that Kane, despite his individual brilliance, was far from his best. Under Nuno, Kane averaged 2.3 shots and 0.9 key passes per 90, but since he was replaced by Antonio Conte, the 28-year-old's shots have risen drastically to 3.2, with his chance creation also seeing a minor uplift. The sample size is small, just 4 games, and Spurs have also faced relatively easy sides when compared to Nuno's time in charge, but they are still promising. With Conte's reputation for squeezing the very best out of individuals, Tottenham fans will be hoping he can revitalise Kane. With the race for the final Champions League spot wide open, an uptick in form for the club's second all-time scorer would do wonders for their pursuit of a top 4 finish, something they haven't achieved since 2019. And with the FA Cup and EFL Cup still up for grabs, Kane will no doubt be hoping he can finally lift some silverware for his boyhood club. So that was our explainer on why Harry Kane has been so bad this season, but are there any other players going through nightmare patches of form that you'd like to see us do similar videos on? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, and why not head over to our sister channel Euro Football Daily, where we've done recent case studies on the Africa Cup of Nations and what it will mean to Europe's top clubs and hooliganism in French football. Trust me, they're both very much worth a watch. Thanks for watching, bye for now.